Yep, good to go.
All right. Well, the College of Business Alumni Association, College of Business and Nevada Alumni Association welcomes Devin Sizemore, the Business Development Manager, Gratis Payments. Welcome, Devin.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Excited to be here and talk about Gratis. We're doing some really cool stuff. And then when I thought about what I want to talk about, I think just sharing the story is enough. It's fun to work at an organization that is doing good in an industry that doesn't do good. My background, I've been in business development. I've owned my own companies. I love working with businesses. Anyone who knows me, which I think half the people on this call are pretty good friends. I love business, and my passion has always been, how do I align with a company in a way that can help businesses get ahead, right? So whether that's saving money, making strategic decisions, something positive. So the move to Gratis was a no-brainer for me because on the front end, we're helping businesses either save money on their merchant processing and credit card processing and or understand how they might be set up better in order to optimize what they're doing, right? New point of sale systems, text to pay, new invoicing platforms, whatever that may look like to make sure that they're getting the right service. On the back end, where it gets really fun is all the savings we're able to find a business. We then work with the business to decide how much of that savings they want to give back to a participating nonprofit. That's the part I think is mind-blowing, right? We are actually losing money in the deal when we do that, right? We could just keep that built in as profit, which is what all other merchant processing companies do. Instead, we split that savings with the business and say, hey, we're going to take some of that savings and give it to these nonprofits. We just are getting ready to announce May 20th will be our next nonprofit gala where we give out the checks to the 12 participating nonprofits and announce the 2 new nonprofits coming on. I would expect we're going to give out over $50,000 in checks to nonprofits. And we have over 100 new participating merchants in the last year. So again, it's an industry that's slimy. It's confusing. Everybody's paying the fees. Our goal is to educate the businesses on the front end, help them save money on the back end, and then support those area nonprofits. The other side that's really exciting is working on national relationships. So it's an industry that has no boundaries. We can sell everywhere in the United States. Right now, I've developed 120 channel partner relationships nationally. Those are with people who have access to businesses. So anyone who's in the B2B space, usually. The goal there is to align with people to help drive value to their networks by, again, providing that savings and education to their network, empowering the nonprofits in those various markets, and then incentivizing those people for those referrals. So we pay a pretty good commission fee to those referral partners. And that's our kind of growth strategy nationally. Right now, we're seeing about a deal a day, which is pretty good traction for the last 4 months. And I think that's my word vomit to kind of start the conversation on who we are, what we're doing, and why I'm excited. So with that, what questions do you guys have about the merchant processing space or building relationships nationally or any of that stuff?
I'm just kind of curious because like in terms of how you pitch this to businesses, obviously you're creating savings for them and then those savings get split between you and the nonprofit. Are they also in that a triangle of savings? Like I'm curious, just are they getting a lot of savings themselves, or is it mostly because they can donate, then the savings, it kind of becomes a tax write-off? Or yeah, do you kind of get my question?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. I'll give you kind of a real example of a current opportunity we're working on and what the savings look like and what they've decided to do. So this client is doing 150,000 in volume a month. It's a local construction company. We were able to find them $760 a month in savings. So about $9,000 a year, I think is what it pencils out to. So significant savings for the business. I don't know, any of you want to add $9,000 to your bottom line is probably a good decision. Of that $9,000, we then create an impact document that shows that business, hey, here's your monthly savings. It's $750. Then we give them the option then to donate basis points on the savings. So it's 1, 3, or 10 basis points. So it's a fraction of a percent, right? And and then they get to decide their impact. I think in that case, it was like $100 if they choose the max level. So that $100 will go to a nonprofit. The other $650, they're still saving. So in this case, they may take their savings from $9,000 to $8,000 on an annual outlook, but then they're having $1,000 impact to an area nonprofit. So everybody ends up winning in the deal.
And so what's your business model then? Are you guys like a monthly service type thing, or the one-time fee, or or are you just kind of like a middleman to other payment services type thing?
Yeah, another good question. Yeah. So the merchant processing space is really convoluted. I'll use examples we probably all know. So we'll use Square, right? Square is a payment processing company most of us are probably familiar with. People go to Square because it's easy, it's set pricing, and it's an easy setup. So we are just like Square, right? We're a company that can handle payment processing. The difference is if we go to like an insurance metaphor, right? We're brokers. So I have access to tons of different providers in the merchant processing space. Some specialize in B2B, some are B2C, some work with nonprofits, some have cool features like live auctions. So because we're a broker, we're still going to charge you a fee just like Square charges you a fee, except I'm going to match you with the best provider, but we're going to be your point of contact. If something ever breaks, our company comes to bat for you. We go to customer service. We deal with the chargebacks. So you don't have an 800 number. And that allows for the savings, the efficiency, and then that allows us to build in that nonprofit piece. Hopefully that answered your question. Cool. What else? Great questions.
I did want to bring up the YPM. So a couple of guys on our board also got the was it a 20 under 40? So I kind of, and Bryce, you got it as well. Keenan was unable to join our meeting today. So I kind of wanted to talk about that process and, you know, what your outreach in the community was to get to that award.
Yeah, it's a great question. And it was, it's been a 9 nomination journey. So I can definitely give you some feedback. You know, it's, I've always been community focused, but I think how I'm community focused now is a little bit different. You know, I sit on the board of the Northern Nevada Rave Family Foundation. I sit on the board of Western Nevada College Foundation. I'm active in 14 local association or nonprofits, whether I'm a sponsor, donor, volunteer, whatever that may look like. I'm a consultant for 6 companies and have the BD job with Gratis, right? So I think it's just a matter of like really ramping up my community involvement in all aspects and ways. I'm also an adjunct professor at Sierra Nevada University now. So like I'm doing a lot more than I've ever done. And I think that was kind of what tipped the scale. Financially, I've also contributed a lot more in the last couple of years than I have in, you know, earlier parts of my career. But other than that, man, it's just, you know, finding stuff you're passionate about in the community, getting heavily involved, which everybody in this board is involved. I see you guys everywhere. So, you know, everyone here is doing all the right stuff anyways. It's just a matter of like when your time comes up for the recognition and, you know, getting through the approval process. But like I said, I was nominated 9 times, a finalist 3 times. So you may have to go around the block a couple times to get there.
Wow. Well, yeah, congratulations on that. Same with Bryce and Keenan as well. So
yeah, great group this year. I mean, great group every year, but it's fun when your friends are on there too.
right.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, shifting back to Gratis. I'm curious what that like national partnership, I guess, looks like and where you guys are now and what your goals are to expand this year and beyond.
Yeah, great question. And obviously it's where I'm most excited because that's the lane I get to live in. You know, it's fun when you look at national expansion, and 2 of my consulting gigs right now, other than Gratis, are national expansion as well. So national expansion is fun because you have to decide, you know, do you want to do it in an acquisitive way? So do you want to go out and buy companies nationally? You know, whether that's mom and pops. In the merchant processing space, there's a lot of that. There are tens of thousands of sales reps. They call them ISOs in this industry, independent sales organizations. Whether that's individuals or teams, they build a book, they want to sell the book. The multiples in the industry are pretty high. You know, so if you're going to build a bigger book, it may make sense to buy them. The industry also works on buy rates. So the bigger our book is, the better our buy rate is on the back end. So right now our split may be 80-20, and the bigger our portfolio gets, we may end up with a 90-10 split. So we're end up picking up 10%. That 10% allows us to go buy companies nationally that may have a worse split, because instantly we'll make money on their book. So that's one strategy, right? Obviously, there's a monetary need there where you have to have an investor or cash available to write those checks. The second way is we could put sales reps in every market. So I know you guys know Stefan, and he's been on here, right? So Stefan's our community development manager. That role was developed to put someone in the market who doesn't have to do sales, but can just build quality relationships, show passion and activity in a market, and show that we care. Stefan is the poster child for that, because that's exactly who his personality is, but we've duplicated him in other markets with the same goal, right? Their goal is not to go out and sell. Their goal is to go out and participate in a community, build awareness, shake hands, kiss babies, participate, donate, volunteer. That's it, right? Spread the message, share the love. He then tees up anything that may be an opportunity for a partnership or a client to the house, and then we manage that client through the sales process and onboard them. So we're doing that nationally too. That's exciting because that puts boots on the ground. So in markets where we're not actually headquartered out of, it allows us to say, hey, we're in your market for your market. In Reno, it's an easy sales pitch, right? Because we're here, the gala is held here, we have hundreds of clients here. And then the third strategy, which is how I've built businesses in the past, is all through channel partners, right? When I stepped into Gratis, they had 12 active channel partner relationships with no active agreements. Like the agreement was there, but it wasn't super dialed. So the intentional strategy there is, let's clean the agreement up. So we have one agreement now. We tiered the payouts. So we're incentivizing our channel partners to grow their book with us, right? So more referrals equals more rewards. The cool part about channel partnerships in this industry versus industries I've been in before is it pays, it's evergreen, right? So it pays for the whole time the client's with us. In the last 4 years, Gratis has lost 2 accounts. So if you make referrals, it's a very sticky relationship, and it's sticky because we're saving them money and doing good, right? So if a competitor walks in the door, they're walking in the door to save them money, and the client's like, well, that's great. I'll just check with Gratis, make sure my fees didn't move, but you're not doing good, so I don't want to talk about it. So if you look at the last 4 months, right, we've gone from 12 referral relationships to 120. That's allowed us to increase our reach in over 30 different markets. And the way we've done that is looking for centers of influence in those markets, right? So who's a connector, who's a B2B sales rep, how do we get in touch with them? How do we build relationships? How do we drive value to them by opening doors, making referrals, building connections in that community? And then how do we get them to drive value to us, make them look like rock stars for the referral? We onboard their client, they have a great experience, everybody's winning, the first check shows up, it's a good experience, then we nurture that. Some of you get my weekly emails on the channel partner side, so we added that. That's something I've never done, and that's working really well. So every week we send out a channel partner email to all 120 saying, hey, here's some education piece. Yesterday I sent out one on that construction company that generated 2 leads yesterday. So that's the stuff we're doing nationally. The other piece, and the one we're really excited about, is we can partner with SaaS companies. So software as a solution, and be their preferred vendor. We're working with an accounting platform right now that just launched. It's a brand new accounting software. It has artificial intelligence built into it, does automatic reconciling of your books, kind of gets rid of the need to have a full-time bookkeeper. It's a really slick platform. When you click invoice integration on it, it automatically recommends Gratis. So now we have that preferred partnership. Their goal is to scale to 13,000 clients in the next year. So if we can get a fraction of that, right, that allows us to scale nationally, and then that should move our nonprofit impact needle to over 6 figures a year. So super long-winded, but those are kind of the 4 strategies to how we're growing market share nationally and what we're doing.
What's your company structure like, and how do you recruit, and where do you recruit? Just internal employees?
Yeah, another good question. So we have a really small core team. I'm a 1099 too. It's actually a consulting agreement, but that's unique. We do have a core team here. It's W2, but it's an industry that doesn't demand a lot of staff. And if we build it out the channel partner way versus the community manager way, it doesn't require that much staff at all. Ideally, we would have client services and client onboarding kind of be who we're hiring and recruiting. The commission build out on that's pretty good. So it's pretty easy to find people. But we have switched and pivoted that role a couple times. So it's just using the network to find people, and then, getting creative on what those positions look like. But to be honest, in this industry, we can grow pretty big without that big of a team.
Hey, Devin, I keep seeing Stefan around town and he's talking about a new lending program. Is that something new to Gratis?
Perfect. Thanks for teeing that up. Yeah, so we're super excited, as Gratis matures, we get the ability to add on services that make sense for our clients and that align with our mission to drive value. So we've added 2 services in the last 60 days. The first is lending. So we've partnered with a lending broker nationally. They work with every type of lending you could imagine, from the junk lending that none of us are fans of, but sometimes we need as business owners, right? So that might be factoring, it might be processing advances, it might be invoice factoring, right? Things like that are like usually high interest and things that I wouldn't recommend if you came to me for consulting and asked, but sometimes when cash flow gets tight, you don't have an option. They also do PPP and traditional money, and then they do all sorts of traditional business loans as well. So whether that's buying buildings, whether that's just commercial financing for equipment, short-term, long-term. So the cool part about that is we always get asked as a merchant processing company, because we're handling money anyways. Everybody always asks us like, well, what about this? What about that? I need $5,000. I need $100,000. I'm trying to do this. The banks won't help. Okay, great. So now we have a solution to say, hey, if the banks won't fund you, we have options. We can do a soft pull, send you through the network, come back with 3 to 5 opportunities that might make sense. And then their team does the full close, gets them onboarded with these different companies. The other cool part about the way they built their network is the credit unions, right? So they work with a lot of really small market credit unions that have lending quotas they have to hit, and their markets won't allow them to hit it because they don't have enough clients. So that's a great blessing for people that are in our network, because you may be able to get money with, a leveraged credit score, whereas in our market, that may not make sense, right? Credit unions here may look at that and be like, you know what, we're not going to take the risk, but that other credit union might have to hit a quota. So they'll take the 600 credit score instead of making you have a 650. So we're really excited about that because it fills a need. And, anyone who's run a business, the financial cycles are there. You're going to need money at some point. And if you built correctly and you had good credit to start, you probably can get your own. If not, this gives you a solution to where we can match you up. And then if you do get denied through that process as well, they're really detailed on why you got denied, and they'll create a plan for you on how you can work on building your credit to get positioned. So that's the first program. We're super excited about that. And the second program we just added is a text to pay program. It allows you to take payments on your phone. It's great for like event registrations. You can scan a QR code and make payments. It also is great for live auctions. So nonprofits, anyone who's running events, we have a live auction piece. You can run your whole live auction through our platform. At the end, everyone who won gets a text. They click the link in the text and pay. When they go up to pick their item up, you'll know they paid because in your dashboard, it'll tell you. They can also show you the confirmation text. They pick their item up and leave. So it streamlines the event, allows for some of that competitive bidding. We're really, really excited about this platform because a lot of our clients are nonprofits. So it allows us to provide a solution in that market that has been really expensive in the past. And due to the volume we were already driving, we have pretty good buy rates with them. So it's a good service for our nonprofits. So those are the 2 new programs we launched. And I think both are huge value adds for the businesses we're working with.
Now we just need events to get back so we can do live auctions.
Agreed. Please.
Devin, sorry, I have so many questions for you. How has COVID-19 impacted you guys? I mean, on one hand, I can see probably some significant challenges, but on the other hand, when nonprofits are struggling so much right now, has that made kind of your pitch easier with?
Your questions are on point. From a sales and revenue perspective, right? If we look at the merchant processing industry, and I was a consultant at this point, I wasn't full-time with Gratis, but right when COVID hit, the industry died because no one was running volume, right? So if the clients aren't running volume and we're getting paid a percent of volume, you can obviously tell that our cash flow went completely sideways. However, we saw people bounce back pretty quick because they got creative and we have a really diversified book. So although our restaurant and retail clients took a big hit, the restaurant clients revamped and did curbside pickup and things like that. So we saw some revenue. Retail lagged a little bit longer. So we definitely saw the impact and we saw our clients feel the impact. However, the end of your question is very true as well, right? Because of how we do things and we're in the business of saving money and impacting the community, the sales pitch has never been better because nonprofits need us and merchants want to help them and merchants need us because they want to save money. So it's a much easier conversation. The other thing we're getting ready to launch, and this is, I probably shouldn't, but I will moment, right? So we're launching a program that's specifically for nonprofits and associations. It sets them up just like a channel partner. They can market to their current client database of whether it's donors, board members. If that nonprofit drives people to sign up, we pay the nonprofit a donation, exactly how we pay channel partners. It allows nonprofits to create an evergreen fundraising campaign with a mutual beneficial service for everybody. So you can promote savings to your list. We're getting clients out of it. The nonprofit community is impacting and the association that's referring is winning. So it creates a four-way win. That flyer just got approved yesterday. We're launching that with our current participating nonprofits. In the next 30 days, you'll see that come out through the community. We're really excited about that because that program has the potential to add another 6 figures in payouts to nonprofits and associations just by allowing them to spread what we're doing and us all win together.
Very cool. So what's the future of you with Gratis and the future of you individually?
Yeah, I've already teased a couple people on the call. So yeah, so Gratis is, like I said, it's a consulting gig that I've actually been in for 4 years. I was Gratis's second client 9 years ago with my marketing agency. I went through my stint at BBSI. I was in the corporate world, which was interesting. I will not be back in that world anytime soon. So I'm back on the entrepreneur side. Gratis will be a long-term play. I love the company. I love Kirk. I love the team. I have already started shifting my time and training someone to do a lot of what I do there. And I'm shifting back into consulting, but still in the biz dev role. I have a new project coming out next week. Everyone's going to start hearing and seeing about. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to do some interesting stuff in this market and nationally. And then lots of consulting. I've got a marketing client. I have a product client. So I love the consulting side. So I'm going to live in that space, launch this new project, work on the nonprofits, do some teaching. And in between that, golf once or twice a week.
And sleep a couple hours, right?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. All right, well, perfect. We have 5 minutes left. Anybody on the board have any other questions for Devin? All right. Well, thank you. I think you covered quite a bit. So I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us and our members. We'll post this on all of our social media sites, so all of our members have access to watch our conversation. So Devin, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you, Devin. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Devin. Really appreciate it.